Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Start your engines, motorsports fans, because today we're discussing the Chopard Mille Miglia GMT Chronograph. You can see this chronometer-rated dual time zone chronograph on our website. Purchase it there, and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos. You can also click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete price details for this Chopard Mille Miglia GMT chronograph. Now, the 24 hours of Le Mans is upon us because it is almost mid-June. Nevertheless, this is a watch that pays homage to historic road races. Most notably, the namesake, the Mille Miglia, from 1927 to 1957, a no-holds-barred race on the open roads of Italy. Since 1977, roughly, it's been a historic rally for vintage racing cars and grand tours. Since the late 80s, Chopard has used it with licensing agreements as the namesake for its most successful sporting range, and thus we come to today's timepiece. 42 millimeters across the round of the case, not inclusive of crown guards, or chronograph pushers. It wears easily on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, to the point where I think you could even wear this down to 14.5 centimeters in circumference because of the curvature of the lugs and the flexibility of the bracelet, which I'll get to in a moment. In terms of thickness, it's 15 millimeters, but there is some conical slope to the bezel, so it's not going to hold your shirt sleeve or cuff hostage unless it's absolutely chokingly tight. This is a watch that can be worn with formal attire, both in terms of dimensions and in terms of refinement and sensibility. 52 millimeters from lug to lug, that is the true measurement, as the bracelet doesn't flare out beyond the bounds of the lug taper. Now, when I take the watch off my wrist, it does have a very substantial double fold deployant clasp. You can see the shape of the lugs. Very short cropped. They turn down rather dramatically as they exit the case flank, almost to the point that the case has some camber or curvature. That's why it wears well on a smaller wrist. You'll also note the bracelet, which can pull straight down, so if you have that smaller wrist, it's not going to fight and flare. It is a substantial, differentially finished stainless steel bracelet, polished down centered, polish on the shoulders. The outer links are satin finished for contrast. It feels secure, substantial, and luxurious in its execution. There's a double fold deployant, which I always like to say is the best solution for those of us with smaller wrists, because it's less likely to pinch skin than the single up and over fold of a single fold deployant. And when it is closed, it is very handsome, tidy, with only one QS to the partition point, the beautiful Mille Miglia 1000 signature within. Now, of course, the watch, being part of Chopard's sporting line, incorporates what might be considered the king of complications, especially for racers. You have a chronometer-grade chronograph that's automatic winding and sports a 24-hour format second time zone. Chopard has you set whether you're timing legs of a rally with the chronograph or keeping track of the progress of a 24-hour race. Either way, you're good to go. Now, you'll note the 24-hour scale outboard on the bezel. You can see the triangular index of the second time zone. It is in a 24-hour format, so it makes one circuit of the dial per day, literally. The chronograph triple register hours, minutes, and seconds, with the red triangular index of the seconds hand making for easy reading. The tachometric scale also allowing you to time the speed of objects when clocked across a known distance, such as a kilometer or a mile. Since it's calibrated in kilometers per hour, we're going to time over 1,000 meters to gauge the speed of our target. Of course, there is a Cyclops eye, but unlike Rolex, this one's internal, so it doesn't mar the profile of the crystal or risk summary ejection by a glancing blow. There's a nice contrasting black date disc with white print for easy reading. Now, silver with applied indices and a small amount of luminescence outboard of each index, the watch can be easily read in any light. Now, the crown, which is a push-down unit, endows the watch with 50 meters of water resistance, sufficient for surface activities, but you don't want to go diving with this watch. The Chronograph Caliber itself is a ETA 7754, which is the day-date or date GMT function version of the Valjoux 7750. Now, this is an exceptional execution. Automatic winding, 42 to 44 hours of power reserve, hacking, quickset for the GMT and the date. The reason I say it's exceptional is because it is the chronometer grade of the 7754, so it's adjusted in 5 positions for exceptional accuracy. And of course, the 7750 and its derivatives now being among the toughest calibers made, it's an absolute tank-tough motor for a high-performance machine like this. You can see and you can purchase this Chopard Mille Miglia GMT chronograph. Hop into the driver's seat on our website.